Once upon a time, in a vibrant village nestled within the heart of Africa, there lived a couple named Fatima and Laolu. Their love for each other was renowned throughout the village, and their bond seemed unbreakable. Fatima was known for her kindness and generosity, always willing to lend a helping hand to anyone in need. Laolu, on the other hand, was admired for his strength and wisdom. Together, they were a shining example of true love and partnership. However, despite their love and the respect they garnered from their fellow villagers, Fatima and Laolu were plagued by a relentless desire for wealth. They dreamed of a life filled with luxuries, believing that riches would bring them true happiness. They often spoke of grand houses, fine clothes, and sumptuous feasts, imagining how wonderful their lives would be if only they had more money. One day, while wandering in the forest to gather herbs, Laolu stumbled upon an old man sitting by a large tree. The man had a long white beard and eyes that seemed to see right through Laolu. He was known in the village as a powerful healer and a keeper of ancient secrets. The old man, sensing Laolu's greed, decided to test him. "Young man," the old man began, "I can see that you desire wealth. There is a hidden treasure buried deep in this forest, filled with gold and precious jewels. It can be yours, but there is a grave consequence you must accept." Laolu's eyes sparkled with excitement. "What is the consequence, old man?" "The treasure is yours," the old man continued, "but once you find it, you will receive a wound that only your wife can heal. Every night, she must lick your wound for you to stay alive. If she refuses even once, you will both perish." Blinded by his desire for wealth, Laolu ignored the old man's warning. He rushed home and shared the news with Fatima. Despite her initial hesitation, Fatima was eventually convinced by Laolu's insistence and excitement. Together, they set off into the forest in search of the treasure. Days turned into nights as they searched tirelessly. Just as they were about to give up, they stumbled upon an old chest buried beneath the roots of a giant tree. With great effort, they unearthed the chest and opened it to find it overflowing with gold coins, sparkling jewels, and priceless artifacts. Overjoyed, they gathered the treasure and hurried back to the village, dreaming of the wonderful life that awaited them. That night, as they celebrated their newfound riches, Laolu felt a sharp pain in his side. When he lifted his shirt, he discovered a deep, festering wound. Remembering the old man's warning, Laolu turned to Fatima with desperation in his eyes. "You must lick my wound, Fatima. It's the only way to save us." Horrified but determined to save her husband, Fatima did as she was told. She licked the wound, and miraculously, it began to heal. Each night, the wound reopened, and each night, Fatima had to lick it to keep Laolu alive. As the days turned into weeks, the burden began to take its toll on Fatima. She grew weaker and more exhausted, her once bright spirit dimming under the weight of the task. The villagers soon noticed a change in Fatima and Laolu. The wealth they had once desired brought them nothing but misery. Laolu was tormented by the unending pain of his wound, and Fatima's health continued to deteriorate. Their once joyous home became a place of sorrow and despair. The villagers, who had once admired them, now whispered about the couple's strange affliction and the heavy price they paid for their greed. One evening, as Fatima was preparing to tend to Laolu's wound once more, the old man appeared before them. His eyes were filled with both pity and wisdom. "You have learned a harsh lesson," he said. "True happiness cannot be bought with gold. It comes from love, sacrifice, and the bonds of family. You have been blinded by greed, and it has brought you nothing but suffering." With a wave of his hand, the old man healed Laolu's wound and took away their riches. The gold, jewels, and artifacts disappeared as if they had never existed. "Live humbly and cherish what you have," the old man advised, before disappearing into the night. From that day on, Fatima and Laolu embraced a life of simplicity. They worked hard, helping their fellow villagers and finding joy in the little things. They learned that true wealth was not found in material possessions but in the love and sacrifices they made for each other. Fatima's health gradually returned, and Laolu's pain became a distant memory. Their story spread throughout the village, a timeless reminder of the dangers of greed and the true meaning of happiness. The villagers often gathered around the fire to hear the tale of Fatima and Laolu, finding inspiration in their journey and the lessons they had learned. As the years passed, Fatima and Laolu's love grew stronger, rooted in the hardships they had endured together. They became wise elders in the village, sharing their story with younger generations and guiding them with their hard-earned wisdom. Their once grand dreams of wealth were replaced with the simple pleasures of life, the laughter of children, the warmth of the sun, and the joy of a loving family. And so, the story of Fatima and Laolu was told and retold, a cherished piece of village folklore that reminded everyone of the true treasures in life. For in the end, it was not the gold or jewels that mattered, but the enduring love and sacrifices that bound them together.